Alright, today we're going to do a brake fluid flush. I've tried a lot of different methods with this, and I'm going to stick with what's called the two-person method, where we have one person inside the vehicle, that'll be my wife, pumping the brake pedal while I'm out here at the brake. So what we've done at this point, we've jacked the vehicle up, we've taken all the wheels off. So I'll put links in the description to my Honda Pilot playlist, where you'll find everything from jacking up the vehicle, rotating the tires, so that'll answer all your questions on all that stuff. But for now, I just wanted to start this vehicle with the car already off the ground. And then right in here, if you can get in here, this is where you bleed the brakes from. So that has a black rubber cap on it. Should have, to keep dirt out. So we take the rubber cap off, and these are known for snapping off sometimes. So let me just show you a 10 millimeter ratchet. There's a nut right here, so if you slip it on, that's a 10 millimeter. So you can either use the box end or the opened end. So what I do for my setup on this is your master cylinder right here is where your brake fluid is at. So what we're going to do, since we're wanting to get all the old fluid out, is I'm going to start by taking this cap off. You can use any kind of syringe. You can use, I'll put links to a couple of kinds that I use. One of them's a more expensive Mighty Vac fluid extractor. This is literally a turkey baster. Don't use the same one you use in your kitchen. So I purchased this for this purpose only, and it stays in the garage with all my funnels, so it does not go in the kitchen drawer. But I'm going to take some fluid out. The idea is to extract enough where you get down in capacity, but not all of it. You don't want to introduce air into the system. So I'm going to start by taking fluid out of here, and I'm going to put my old fluid I take out in this bottle. And so let's just do that now while we're sitting here explaining it. Let me just show you. So first thing I did was I cleaned up around this with the rags. You don't want to introduce dirt in the system. So I wiped the top of this cap. The other thing is this brake fluid is caustic. You don't want it touching stuff. So I'm going to get some rags. You don't want this touching your skin. You don't want it touching the paint on your car. So I'll go ahead and lay out a couple of rags here. I'm going to lay my cap right there. And then I want to grab this diaphragm thing out of here. It's obviously going to have a little bit of fluid on it, so I want to have a rag to set that on. And then it's got this little filter basket. I would need to grab that. So definitely need gloves on. Alright, so now take my turkey baster, squeeze it, put it down in there. Suck that up, take my bottle. I'm going to explain this bottle. Okay. Okay. Normally old fluid would be much darker, but I had changed this not an awful long time ago, but I just wanted to make sure that it was fresh. Okay, so now that we removed what we could with the turkey baster, we have our brand new Honda .3 brake fluid. It's important to stick with the .3 if that's what your manufacturer calls for. There are some that use .4, but it's not very popular. And I'm not real worried about stopping at the fill line because I'm pumping all this fluid out. And so I'm going to go ahead and fill it all the way up to this ring where my that diaphragm goes back in. I always cap this. So now I'm full so that I can start bleeding the brakes without introducing air. So we got to keep an eye on this system. Not sure what I'm doing wrong here. We have to keep an eye on our system so that we don't reintroduce any air. Alright, I don't know what I was doing, but the cap's on correctly now. So I'm going to leave this bottle here, and I'm going to have to check that and refill it after each of the 4 wheels are done, just to keep it from getting too low. Okay, so I needed some old fluid in here, and the reason is you can home make these. You can make these out of Powerade bottles if you want to, but I'm going to put a link to this. I figure, you're saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars by taking care of your own brakes. I can invest in a $10 or whatever this is bottle that is made with the hoses, the tubing, the hanger. It's worth it for me to not go through the trouble of home making one of these, as cheap as they are. But the tube inside needs to go down into this old brake fluid so that it doesn't suck fluid back. And so what I'm going to do is use this caliper hanger bracket on my coil springs up here. Just going to hang it there. I'm going to use this hanger on my bottle to hang that there. I've already got my 10mm wrench right there, and now I'm going to put this there. So what's going on here is you want the tube going up when it comes out of there, and this to be above here so that air doesn't go back into the brake line. You want to draw fluid up and out. And then I need enough used fluid to begin with in my bottle to submerge my tube. In the event that your brake reservoir is empty at the beginning, your master cylinder, and you don't have old brake fluid, then you would need to pour new brake fluid in here, which would be wasted, but it's necessary. But you can tell we didn't really need that many ounces. So anyway, that's our setup right here. Alright, so as far as the brake bleed procedure, there's an order in which you want to do the 4 wheels, and so follow your manufacturer's recommendations. So a lot of manufacturers recommend starting at the passenger rear, and then the driver rear, and then the passenger front, and then the driver front. That used to be the kind of universal way because you're starting at the furthest wheel from this master cylinder. So picture you got brake lines going to all 4 wheels, so that makes sense. However, with ABS systems, you have those can be in different parts of the vehicle, and that changes the routing. So on most Hondas, the ABS system is in the rear, so that's reversed. So for Hondas, the order is the driver's side front, the passenger front, the passenger rear, and the driver rear because of where the ABS module is. So that's what I follow on my Hondas. Okay, got the camera on a tripod because my wife's in the car doing the brake pedal. So what I've found, I've seen different methods, but I find that I need to leave the cap off the master cylinder and remove my diaphragm and all that. Just have the brake fluid in there with it open, because otherwise I don't seem to get as much fluid going through. So I've got the master cylinder with the cap off and nothing inside of it other than full of brake fluid. I have my bottle hanging right here, and this is my 10mm wrench right here. So I'm going to loosen it counterclockwise. I'm going to tell my wife, go ahead and start pushing. Hold on, I'm having trouble loosening this one. Okay, push. Okay, you see that fluid coming up?
Done.
Okay, and then she tells me when it's to the floor. So you could tell that one was a little tough for me to start. That's why we put the penetrating oil on it first. So we have this full of fluid now. Getting ready to go again. Go.
Done.
Okay, so something that I don't know why I'm having trouble with this time is my tube here is in the fluid down there. It should just be going in, but for whatever reason it's overflowing out that, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I got cardboard under here. The fluid is coming out of the brake, so I'm a little confused as to what's going on there with that. Okay, getting ready to go again. 1, 2, go. Okay. 1, 2, go.
Done.
Okay. So yeah, it's basically just all spilling out and not that much of it staying in the bleeder bottle. So don't know what's going on there with the pressure, but I know it's coming out. So I know that we are flushing it. So in between wheels, what I'm going to do is refill the master cylinder and cap it. Get set up on my next wheel so I'm not leaving the cap off very long. So every wheel I'm adding more fluid to the master cylinder to get it up to the top. But I'm leaving those diaphragm pieces out until this job is done. Okay, so that's capped and refilled. But that's how you do it. Not going to film the other wheels, they're going to be the same way. So we're going to do that on all 4 wheels. Alright, if all you were doing was a fluid flush, you would take this cap off, put this in and this in, and then fill your fluid up to the final level. Because I'm doing this prior to doing a brake job, I'm going to leave the fluid a little bit low because when I push my calipers back, I need to give room for fluid to come back into this reservoir. So I'm going to wait till the brake job is done to put this back together and fill my fluid up, and I'll still have to keep an eye on that while I'm doing the calipers to find out how much fluid is going to come back. I'll put my cap back on. Just want to show you how you can test your brake fluid. This is a brake fluid tester where it tests for moisture. It's got a little button at the top. So that says there's 0% moisture. When it hits the fluid, okay, it's in the okay range. And it's saying, you know, there's less than 2% moisture. And that's on new fluid. So that bottle was sealed, is just purchased, and I'm already getting a less than 2% instead of less than 1%. So I really don't totally understand that, but that's probably about as good as I'm going to get. And then it'll tell you all the way up to 3 and 4%, which it recommends changing it. And so I'll put a link to this brake fluid tester in the video description.